Love, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Divine, beautiful soul, what is good in your world? It's me, Nicole P, your spiritual barista, serving you up wisdom, guidance, and inspiration from the cards. I'm recording this video the day after the Libra Full Moon, and I feel so cleansed and so clear and just on point and on purpose. I pulled three cards, my love. And let me tell you something. I got some brew for you. So get comfy, take some deep breaths, open up to receive the message that I'm about to serve you, and know that you take what flows and you leave what does not. You sip on it, you let it warm you up, you let it like stir up something inside. And then sometimes what happens with tarot or spirit messages or just even good old fashioned like practicas, like advice, it's like you take things in, you hear the message and your heart opens up, and then it triggers, not triggers, I guess sparks. It sparks like your own intuition, your own wisdom, and your own guidance. So that's what I wish for you to do as you take in and sip on the brew that I'm about to serve you. So let me get a sip of my tecito. Hold on. Mm. Ooh, I'm drinking some tecito from Seattle. It's called Market Spice Tea. It's so delicious. You can get the decaf version. That's what I do because the caffeine is like really high caffeine. And it's the middle of the day and I don't want to be up all night. Usually I don't have a problem with it, but still. But this stuff is really good. Market Spice Tea. The thing is, if you go buy some, it's cinnamon and orange. It's delicious. You only need a very little bit. It's very strong, very potent. So, Market Spice Tea. Okay, let's get into the cards. I'm going to show you the cards that I pulled, and then I'm just going to free flow the message, okay? So I pulled these cards, and I also did this like for, it's part also my like journaling process as well. So, I got two new decks this week and I was really excited. So, the first card that I pulled was good old fashioned, the Pamela Coleman Smith deck, which I will forever call this the Pamela Coleman Smith deck because I think Rider Waite, yeah, he maybe had influence on it. He wrote the book and descriptions and stuff, but I think it's the imagery of this tarot deck from the magical, mystical maven herself. May she rest in power, peace, and pleasure, Pamela Coleman Smith. So, from the Smith deck, I pulled the Magician. I pulled the Magician. Then from one of my new decks here, the Cosmic Seed Tarot, which I love it. Look at this card. Isn't that gorgeous? And don't mind my nail polish. Well, I know. I just realized I should have done my nails before I made the video, but it's the Three of Wands. Look at that. Aries energy. So we have the energy of Mercury. We have Aries energy connected to Mars. And then this is from the Herbal Astrology deck. Passion flower, surrender. And so this passion flower, this herb, this flower itself is connected to Neptune and the moon. Ooh, I love it, right? So once again, let me show you the cards that I pulled. The Magician, the Three of Wands, and Passion flower. The message here says surrender, and I read a little bit from the guidebook. And so here's what I'm feeling in my heart to share with you, my love, about this is number one, remind yourself that you have all that you need right now. Now, there's always a desire to want more, to gather more, but you have what you need to start. You have what you need to carry forth. You have what you need. And there's an element of surrender as you're looking upon, right, your queendom, your kingdom. You're looking upon what could possibly be the next path or part of your path, where you're just contemplating and looking for like, what is it that I desire to do with this marvelous life of mine? Like, what new chapters await me? What is on the other side of this threshold that I am crossing? And here's the thing is so often we think that in order to cross these thresholds, we think that in order to receive really big things, we think that we need more. We need to learn more, we need to grow more, we need to be more, we need to have more. And so often, in fact most often, we need to release, and we actually need to have less. We need to make room for what is waiting for us. We need to surrender to any of the expectations. We need to surrender to this idea that we need to gather, 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 gather. And then when we have enough, then when we are enough, then when we have taken more courses, we have done all the certifications, we have lost all the weight that we wanted to lose, we have looked a certain way, then the manifestations will come, then the experiences will come, and it's just quite the opposite. You have everything that you need right here, right now. Now, that does not mean that in the future you may need to learn and grow more. That's a totally different thing. There's this way of holding ourselves back and not addressing and not being open to our wounds of worthiness, our wounds of sitting on our brilliance, our wounds of moving away from the center of our truths, and then we hide out and having to have more and do more and be more before we can even open up to the miracles and manifestations that are awaiting us, that are moving towards us as we move towards them. And this card is such a beautiful, beautiful imagery. It's like, looking upon the vastness of infinite possibilities. And it's like the eye up there. I love this image in a sun, which is really almost looking like a sunflower in some ways, and yet like a lion's mane. And it reminds me of how when we pause and we tune in our essence, right? In our essence, not amongst all the materialistic things, not amongst all of the noise and the static, but just in our essence, and say, let me tune in to the silence. Let me tune into this pause to hear what my heart says, to hear what my soul says. And it's when we pause and really open our eyes to see, it's that connection from these eyes, this eye, and up above. It's being able to hear in the silence and feel the presence in the silence. And so with this passion flower, this surrendering to not only our expectations, but also surrendering to the past, surrendering and say, I am not going to resist anymore. I'm not going to hide out on my brilliance anymore. I am not going to play small anymore. I'm going to surrender all of that. I'm going to surrender also to the expectations. Now, I was reading in the guidebook, and the author of that I think it's herbal apothecary, herbal astrology, the oracle deck. I'll put the name in the captions here. They were saying that this card, the surrender card, the passion flower card, also has to do with making sacrifices. That there's some sacrifices that one makes when you're expanding and opening to these opportunities, like these opportunities of experience, so to experience life the way you crave to, the manifestations, and that sometimes those sacrifices and those pains and those wounds and it kind of ties into the message from last week about leaving the Eight of Cups. Sometimes there are sacrifices, and there's sorrow, and there's pain with those sacrifices, and with the releasing and the surrender. But it's something that's so necessary in order to be able to receive and move forth and actually cross that threshold and be open to what's waiting for you on the other side of that threshold. Do you feel me with that? And this is like such a beautiful time for that. And even in the amidst the chaos of the country and the and what's going on globally and in our immediate communities. That's not to deny this, but however, in the face of all this, we still have access to our imagination. We still have access to the abundance of the universe. And so the message is to be able to sit and this week find moments to be comfortable with silence and stillness and being able to tune in to acknowledging. And if you have to write it down, but this acknowledgement of what do you have already and reminding yourself that you have everything that you need right now. That it is within you and all around you in the right now. The invitation to pause, to not be so reactionary, and to really pause and say, what is it that I truly want to feel, to welcome into my life, to invite into my life, to be present in my life? How do I want to engage with others? And what is out there for me? What are the infinite possibilities that exist? And acknowledging what things, what people, what places do I need to release? How do I need to surrender to what is happening right now? And also, how do you find ways to be at peace? You may not like where you are right now, but that doesn't mean that you will be there forever. So being very cognizant and aware of what do I have? What is within my control? Where do I have agency to begin to make the changes, to begin to take the steps towards what it is that I am inviting into my life? My love. That's what I have for you this week. That's the weekly brew for you. The Magician card, the Three of Wands, and the Passion Flower Surrender card. I hope that this was of service to you. I send you so much love. I hope you're taking good care for yourself. And until next time, peace, love, and everything in between. Cheers.